Very good evening, friends. Meeting again in the session of Materia Medica. And today I will going to explain one important remedy from fourth year syllabus and even in practice, generally overlooked, an Indian drug that is Ocimum Sanctum. So I will share my PowerPoint along with the two cases which I have treated. Cases are not written over there. I will just explain because those both the cases are there from my practice. Generally, this remedy I have used many times in my practice in acute cases. So this remedy is a wonderful remedy to be learned. So we'll go with this and understand what exactly the Ocimum Sanctum is. So, a warm welcome from Divine School of Homoeopathy to all of you, and we'll directly start with today's session. This is a remedy which needs little bit practical understanding. This remedy is generally used everywhere as a common remedy known as Tulsi in Marathi, Hindi. Holy basil is a revered medicinal plant in Ayurveda. It's known for its extensive therapeutic properties, but generally in acute conditions, Tulsi is considered sacred in Hindu culture and is often found in household courtyards. Everywhere, whenever any bungalow is there, definitely you're going to find it out. Even in flats, many people keep the Tulsi. It is highly valued for its medicinal properties, particularly treating respiratory disorders, fever, and digestive issues. So this plant is very common, and generally everyone likes to taste the leaves of this plant, and it's too tasty also. So first, I will share two cases. This is a good remedy for children's complaints, and specifically, it goes close to the rustox weather. In damp, wet weather, in rainy season, when patient comes with a viral attacks, specifically the children who comes to you with a runny nose, with a cough, with little bit toxic look, the eyes are red. So this was child 4 years of age was brought to me with such types of features. So he was suffering from common cold and cough, dry cough was there, and little bit toxy. The fever was associated, and he was putting just head. There was a headache along with that, and he was crying along with that. He becomes irritable and crying. The redness of the face was another characteristic. It was showing typical two important feature. That first, it has happened during damp wet weather, but at the same time, the congestion of belladonna, which was there. When he was crying a lot, I saw his right ear, and right ear, there was a discharge, yellowish discharge was there from his right ear. He was having, along with that, since morning, he had passed 3, 4 stools, and every time he was crying a lot during passing the stools. He was complaining that there is a pain, and he feels better after passing the stools. So this was picture which was confusing. Acute state, acute viral, you can say, because the runny nose, the eyes are red, the face is red, the headache is there, the irritability is there, the fever is associated, diarrhea is there, pain in abdomen is there, and cranky child, little bit looking like chamomilla like irritability was there. And one more feature which was there was the greenish tools also. So it was a mixed picture of rust toxis, was mixed picture of belladonna, it was mixed picture of rust chamomilla. All those things generally we never look towards our own remedies. Ocimum sanctum is the remedy for such types of state where this confusing state appears to be there. Ocimum sanctum in potentized form works beautifully. I have seen that since childhood. I was seeing that people who used to get cough and cold, they are asked to take just chew the leaf of this plant. This is common, and I have seen that many times. Which the children feels better after that. The cough settles, the coryza settles, viral attack immediately settles with that. But in potentized form, I have used this remedy many times. I had three potencies. I have mother tincture of Ocimum sanctum. I have 30, 200, and 1 m. But generally, I used to use when the symptoms are absolutely matching. I never use the mother tincture. I'm using directly a 30 potency. For this child, I have given 30 Ocimum sanctum 3 times a day for 2 days and asked him to report me daily. Next day, child was much better. Nothing required in between. Then I have continued with one more day, and on third day, when I have seen that child, he was absolutely better. No more diarrhea. Fever has subsided. The cough and coryza much subsided. He was happy. The crankiness basically has gone. The redness of eyes has gone. So a typical picture of acute viral attacks in children, specifically rainy weather, damp weather, getting wet, keeping feet inside the water. This stimulates the condition, and a typical picture of all those three, four remedies when comes together, it is always Ocimum sanctum, specifically in children. So this was case of 4 years child, and another case was a young boy. He was 20 years of age. Again, was brought to me with a very high grade fever, and he was absolutely looking drowsy. The toxicity which you can read over there, it looks like a gelsemium like state. But if you consider it is gelsemium, but child was, this fellow was thirsty. Gelsemium is thirstless. You have to logically compare. You have to think what remedy which we are thinking. Second important thing, the um, problem was started. He went to a pond and he kept his feet for longer time in that pond, so getting fit weight, and after returning from that point, he started getting the sneezing. Within an hour or two, he started getting headache. Then the fever developed, and it was all of a sudden, it has so high grade, he becomes drowsy. He was feeling giddy. He was not able to walk. He was having severe headache associated with dry cough, associated with chest pain. And this was so sudden within span of 4, 5, 6 hours, this picture has developed. And then after that, he developed 2, 3 stools. He got 2, 3 stools. And every time the stools were with pain in abdomen, and there was yellowish greenish little bit uh, mucoid stool. He has complained that I'm getting little bit numbness over there, tingling over there in hands along with that. So this was the picture, and whole story was started with this. Asked what you took in the food. He said, no, nothing, normal diet, but now I'm not feeling anything. I don't want to eat. I just want only one thing. And his mother was there, and she said that doctor, he is asking only the pineapple juice. Make a pineapple juice and give it to me. 2 days, since 2, 3 days, pineapples we brought from the market, and he was asking for the juice, and he likes pineapple juice too much. It was interesting. Uh, Craving for pineapple juice is one important feature of Ocimum sanctum. Very, very important. Single remedy is given in the complete repertory, pineapple juice cream. So it was interesting for me. So I have given Ocimum sanctum 200, 3 doses, asked him to bring him tomorrow. Next day, the toxicity disappeared, the fever subsided. but cough was there, coryza was there, diarrhea has settled. Then I have given 3 more doses of Ocimum Sanctum. On day third, he was absolutely normal. So both cases, it was acute state, and acute state recovered very nicely with the Ocimum Sanctum. This is a good remedy when such types of features are there. When patient is thirsty, if patient is thirstless, you can think about the Gelsemium in that case, because there was a severe headache also, giddiness was there. But this fellow wants fanning. That was another important feature which was there in the case. So this is Ocimum Sanctum. So Ocimum you can use in day-to-day practice as a good remedy for fever, toxic fever. We'll just listen that what is there in Ocimum Sanctum. So this is scientific classification, the kingdom Plantae, the family is Lamiaceae, genus Ocimum, and species is Sanctum. Origin and historical facts. Tulsi is native to Indian subcontinent and grows widely throughout the Southeast Asia. In Ayurveda, it is known as Vishnu Priya, meaning the beloved of Vishnu. Historically, Tulsi has been used as an adaptogen, antimicrobial, anti-inflammatory properties. It holds a significant place in the traditional rituals and medicines, often regarded as purifier of mind, body, and spirit. So, what is homeopathic perspective? If you go with mind, the forgetfulness and loss of concentration is quite common. If there is a fever associated, many times there is forgetfulness and lack of concentration develops. The disturbed child who is crying and peevish behavior does not like to lie on bed. He is absolutely restless, cannot lie in bed. Prostration and drowsiness. This is associated with fever, associated with viral attack. Falling asleep while answering. This is again one future. Headache. Headache is throbbing pain as if nails were driven into the head relieved by pressure. Then giddiness, worse while walking, better by wrapping up head, heat on vertex, and better by pouring cold water and fanning. See, this is very important essential thing which you can see. They wants the fanning, they wants the cold water, feels better by that. Eyes, they are absolutely red and painful, accremation due to nasal catarrh, ophthalmia, a typical viral presentation. Mist before eyes when focusing on something. Ears, you can see that noises in ears. Loud sounds appear very painful. There is discharge from the watery and offensive pus from the ear, the shortness of hearing, the hot flushes in the ear. Nasal catarrh, sneezing, white or yellowish discharge, ulcerated nostrils, epistaxis. This is again one important feature. Generally in congestive attack of this viral fever, you can get the epistaxis along with that. Then in the face and mouth, you can see that there is a pale face, pale and red face, bright red lips, watery salivation, putrid bitter taste. Apathy, sores in the mouth, bright red tongue, or sides with deeply coated, middle, dry or black lips. Throat pain, difficulty in swallowing, pain while coughing, there is a hoarseness. The chest pain while coughing and sneezing, can't lie quietly in bed due to the asthma. This is good remedy even in asthmatic attacks. I have used it many times. If cough is not getting settled and there is look associated asthma, and patient complains there is a pain in chest in the sternal region, then definitely Ocimum Sanctum settles that in mother tincture form. Stomach, you can get very typical flatulency, eructation, hiccup, gurgling sound in the abdomen. Lack of appetite, heaviness in the abdomen, no relief after passing the stool, gripping pain in the liver or spleen. Diarrhea is there, but diarrhea is patient is feeling better after diarrhea. That is one feature. Copious offensive mucus or bloody yellowish greenish diarrhea. Involuntary during fever, more commonly in rainy weather or autumn. See, this modality goes more in favor of the rush dogs. Then urine, involuntary urination, especially in children, burning while urinating, frequent desire to pass urine. female complaints, offensive lochia, long-lasting discharge after the childbirth, profuse bloody discharge, and leukorrhea is there, another feature which you can get over there. General modalities, symptoms worsen when exposure to cold or damp weather, amelioration as improvement with the warmth and rest. So this is Matra Medica perspective. But I have studied this remedy from different angle, from the repertory point of view. I have collected all the rubrics, single remedy rubrics of this remedy. So in mind, we never think of a mind, how is the mind of the Ocimum Sanctum. And I got the 4 features in mind chapter, which are single remedy rubrics of Ocimum Sanctum. There is anxiety whenever the patient is lying with head high, and then it ameliorates. Otherwise, in lying down position, it is aggravated, or in sitting position, it is aggravated. But when patient lies down with keeping head high, then patient was feeling better. Dreams of gates opening and shutting in succession. That was the dream which is happens to be there, improving. Then there is a dullness, specifically in the morning till noon. Most important symptom which is there, sing desire to romantic songs. Very characteristic, single remedy, Ocimum Sanctum. Then in the head, there are 2 more single remedy features. Headache, specifically forenoon aggravates 9 to 11 a.m. in the morning. Then there is a pulsation in head from hunger or fasting. That is another single remedy rubric which was there in head. Then in mouth, apathy between the gums, between the incisors, you get the aphthous ulcers over there. Sneezing by getting fit wet, single remedy, Ocimum Sanctum was mentioned. Then in the abdomen, there is a drawing pain, umbilical region, bending backward aggravates. So patient, whenever turns backward, it is more aggravated. Pain, drawing umbilical region, stools ameliorate. This is one more feature where stools gets ameliorate the patient. Diarrhea associated with high fever, and especially in children, single remedy. Then tingling, prickling hands, fever during. This is another feature. Patient always complains, I'm getting tingling over there during fever. Very important Ocimum symptom. And last, in sleep chapter, there is sleepiness. Afternoon aggravates 4 to 5 p.m. until there is a severe sleepiness which happens to be there. The pineapple juice desire for a single remedy mentioned in complete repertory. So if you go with repertory aspect, you get many features about this remedy. These are only single remedy rubrics which I have collected, and I have studied the Ocimum Sanctum, and that's why I have shown them to you. So in short, Ocimum Sanctum is used for acute respiratory disorder. The word acute respiratory disorder, acute fever, digestive issues, and infections. Generally, the viral infections, where this plays viral toxic infections, this plays very important role. So this is what regarding the Ocimum Sanctum. We have learned a wonderful remedy, which you can try in your practice in potentized form 3200, or even in mother tincture form, to palliate certain acute states. So we have learned one more remedy from 4th year syllabus. So we'll go ahead directly on Monday. Tomorrow it is not possible to conduct session. We'll meet directly on Monday. Thank you being there.
Thank you very much, sir.